From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, March the 13th, 2025. The IDF today hit terror group Palestinian Islamic Jihad's base of operations in Syria. The IDF said Air Force fighter jets under the direction of the Northern Command and the Intelligence Branch attacked a terrorist headquarters of the terrorist organization PIJ in the Damascus area, from which the organization planned and conducted terrorist operations, saying the IDF will not allow terrorist organizations to establish themselves in Syrian territory and act against the State of Israel, and will act forcefully against any such establishment. An 18-year-old Israeli man was wounded in a terror shooting last night near the city of Ariel in Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, reportedly shot in the arm while driving. The IDF said an Israeli citizen arrived at the industrial zone in Ariel with a gunshot wound. He was said to be in moderate condition and received medical treatment there. Security forces were searching for the suspect or suspects involved. Israel expressed its outrage and utter rejection of a report released today by the United Nations Human Rights Council from what it calls its Independent International Commission of Inquiry on the Occupied Palestinian Territory, including East Jerusalem and Israel, which accuses Israel of, it wrote, sexual, reproductive, and other forms of gender-based violence against Palestinians as part of a broader effort to undermine their right to self-determination and carried out genocidal acts through the systematic destruction of sexual and reproductive healthcare facilities since October the 7th. Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs called the report one of the worst blood libels the world has ever seen, saying it accuses the victims of the crimes committed against them. Hamas is the organization that has committed horrendous sexual crimes against Israelis, saying the report is indeed a sick document that only an anti-Semitic organization such as the UN could produce. The U.S. State Department yesterday announced the sanctioning of the Foxtrot Network, it said a transnational criminal organization, and its fugitive leader, Rawa Majid. The State Department wrote the network is a notorious criminal gang based in Sweden and a prominent drug trafficking organization in the region, and noted the Iranian regime leveraged the Foxtrot Network to carry out attacks on Israeli and Jewish targets in Europe, including the Israeli embassy in Stockholm, Sweden, in January of 2024. The American Jewish Committee thanked the administration for the action and said for years, Iran has systematically expanded its collaboration with criminal networks in the U.S. and Europe to carry out violent attacks, including the targeting of Israeli officials and Jewish communities, saying the European Union must stop turning a blind eye and take decisive action, including, it said, designating the IRGC as a terrorist organization. Well, the Jewish holiday of Purim began this evening, celebrated by children dressing up in costumes, giving to the poor, handing out mishloach manot, trays of sweet treats, including hamantashen, and the reading of the Megillah, the Book of Esther. But with the joy and celebration, of course, is also heartbreak for the hostages still held captive in Gaza now for 524 days, and for all those lost on and since the October 7th Hamas massacre, including the Bibas family, Shiri and her two sons, baby Kfir and young Ariel. Ariel loved Batman, and many children across Israel and beyond dressed up as the Caped Crusader for Purim to honor and remember the Bibas boys. Israel's official Twitter X platform wrote today that Purim celebrates the triumph of good over evil, the victory of the Jewish people over those who sought to destroy them, writing this year that message resonates more than ever. Just as the Jewish people overcame Haman and countless enemies throughout history, we will prevail today. This Purim, we remember the 59 hostages still held in Gaza, stolen from their families, torn from their lives. We will not rest until they are free. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, March the 13th, 2025. I'm Teisha Bader. I will be away tomorrow, Friday, through Monday, but I will be back with the news on Tuesday. See you then. Wishing you an early Shabbat Shalom. Happy Purim. Am Yisrael Chai.